Hello.
Hi, friends.
Hello. Welcome to VO Journey Academy Live. My name is Anthony,
I'm Gabby.
and we're voice actors.
Clinky.
And yes, we are drinking coffee. It
Mm-hmm.
is a Thursday before. Well, you have a big day coming up
I
tomorrow.
do. I have a surgery tomorrow.
You have a
Bleh.
surgery
Nothing major.
tomorrow.
Nothing major at all, but
But yeah, but it's still a surgery, so you'll
still surgery.
be
It's going to
out
put
a
me out
bit.
for a couple days. Yeah.
And then we've got whatever wintry weather is coming this weekend.
Snowmageddon,
Yes,
man.
yes. It is still. I mean,
I'm
even
worried about
though,
you.
well, yeah, even though they've decreased how much snow we're supposed to get, we're still supposed to get a bunch, and then ice. So,
Yeah.
but I'm still not convinced they know. Because they're just completely wrong most of the time. So.
Every day.
Yes,
It changes constantly.
yes.
And I mean, I've seen everything from like 2 inches to 20 inches.
I
So
know,
that's fun.
I
Yeah,
love
nobody
those
knows.
things where it's like in this area it can be between 1 and 78 inches. Like,
Nobody knows.
like who knows? Very nice, James. 67 in Texas.
But
That's
even
actually kinda
Texas
cool in
is supposed to get this.
Yeah, I know.
Texas is supposed to get snow, and I'm like, that never happens.
That
San
is wild.
Antonio is going to be screwed.
It is. Well, we are happy to be here today. This is brought to you by VO Journey Academy, and we have been really having an interesting conversation this week, right? About coaching. Yeah, and coaches in general, right? We were kind of diving in yesterday about, I think, looking at coaches and how I relate to you, what their experience is, what their, niche might be or whatever. And I think today we wanted to what did we want to talk to you about today about?
I love the idea of talking about expectations because I think
this is a big thing for you because I know you've spoken about this before.
I feel like so many people, when they go into coaching or they decide to get a coach, there is blind trust, blind faith. This person must know better than me, must know more than me. And I think what it does is it reduces the students' expectations. And I think that that's cray-cray, especially when you consider that we pay for it, right? So you're not just a student, you're a consumer, right? You're a client. So the idea of not having an expectation, I think, is wonky, right? So what sorts of things should we expect? What can we expect from a coach? What are reasonable expectations that you can put on the process? I think that's all very important.
Oh, absolutely. I love this topic because I think so first, you have to consider, are you going into something like, for example, you want to join like VO Journey Academy, right? Where we have a really large engaged community. We've got multiple coaches who coach live.
You're putting us right on the chopping block, right up like
well, I mean, I figure that, what I figured that is that we should be able to hold up with any sort of thing,
Agreed.
So, you don't either. We don't ever shy away from what we do because we believe in it so much. But we have, so if you come to VO Journey Academy, right, I think that or a place where there's multiple coaches, there's a community, it's your expectation, right, should be to get information from all of these places, as well as have the opportunity to see live classes, have the opportunity to ask questions to community, but it's more on a total scale. It's not necessary, we offer the services, but generally it's not a one-on-one, like you and me have an hour every day together or something.
It's systemic.
Right.
In a way, the learning is systemic. You've got all of these different ways in which you can absorb, and that's so important.
Now I will admit though, we are, like, for example, I mean, this is you and I, we do this all day, every day. So it's not like you can't just contact me in the Discord or contact us. Like, we're there,
But
right?
yes, but
And that's
in
where,
that
yeah.
there's a check and balance system
Mm-hmm.
that I think is critical for the individual coaches, because we are less afraid to say, I don't know.
That's true.
And that's such a big thing, because any educator that's afraid, and we see this a lot with new coaches, like they're afraid to say this. They're afraid to say, I don't know that, or I haven't experienced that, or I'm not sure, because they think in their mind, right, that's the expectation. I have to know these things. But that's not true. We can't know everything. So when you have a group like this, any group environment, it makes it easier. Sometimes people ask me a question about audiobooks and I'll go, I don't know.
Right.
I don't know. That's not something I have that much. You know what? But hey, let's throw that question at Angela. Let's throw it to Anthony, because I know that one way or another, we are going to be able to support this person's needs.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I think when you come into a larger group, that expectation should reflect what you expect to get from,
Yeah.
like you just said, that kind of um systemic, that larger framework.
Yeah.
If you are going to work one-on-one with someone,
Mm-hmm.
right, you're going to be in a just one-to-one weekly day, monthly, bi-monthly, right? I would have a different set of expectations
Yeah.
with that person. Are you looking for a guy? So this is where we go back to, are you looking for a teacher? Are you looking for a coach?
A mentor.
Are you looking
Right.
for a
Right.
mentor? Are you
Right.
looking for someone that's going to stretch you? Like, there's sometimes, like, I've worked with some students where we've worked together now, and our relationship has progressed because we worked together for years.
Mm-hmm.
And we're
Mm-hmm.
still working together. So, they're not, some people are not at a place where they need to know what microphone they need, or,
Yeah.
some of these people have better studios than I do. So, but we work together. There's accountability. Like, there's different
There's
things, right?
adaptability. Some people, when they teach, they're very rigid, right? They follow whatever their lesson plan is and they don't deviate from it. And with our industry and with privatized coaching, there has to be some give and take there. We can't be so rigid that we aren't acknowledging a situation like you just said. Like, if somebody's got better gear, why am I going to sit here and, talk to them, lecture them about certain aspects of their studio? They probably already know.
Right.
So there, you should be able to expect that you're not going to be bogged down with a bunch of knowledge that you've already obtained and that you're already set with, and that the instructor is unwilling to maneuver to your needs. I think another thing that's really important is for the student to have not only accountability when it comes to like their homework and assignments and what they're being asked to do, but to do the same in kind to the instructor. Hey, I want to make sure we cover X, or I really have questions about this. Can we incorporate that into our next lesson, or can we get that on the calendar somewhere for the future? Because if you're not how the heck are you meeting somebody's needs if you're not getting that kind of feedback? And so this is also what empowers a student to not just feel like, again, they're blindly at the mercy of their coach, but that they are a proactive partner in that experience. That's another thing I'm a big believer in. Like, I often, when I talk to new prospective students, that's one of the first things I want to know. It's not, what things I teach. It's, what do you need for your business, right? What do you need for where you are in your journey in voiceover? Because I have to meet you there, not the other way around. I was telling Anthony a story yesterday. I'll bring it up without naming names. I've had some really wild experiences my own, doing one-on-one coaching and private coaching. And I had one instance that it will always stay with me. I will not name names because this person is a friend and they're a darling human being and very well respected in the industry. But I had this one coaching session where I honestly felt like it was some sort of like a psychic like it was like voiceover training by psychic intervention. It felt like everything that they were telling me, they were like literally, like it was like, thank you God, thank you for that answer, thank you for the, this insight in like these. And I was like, what is going on here? It was very, very odd. And I remember feeling like that didn't sit well with me, the idea that this educator really wasn't taking personal responsibility for their knowledge and what they were imparting on me, that they were almost making it about a divine element. And I felt that was very, very strange.
It's interesting.
I mean, I've seen some wacky stuff,
Yeah.
Um,
And I think that goes to, again, and that goes back to, gosh, we're going to have so many different types of educators or coaches who
yeah,
are all kinds of different styles and everything. And so you definitely have to figure out, that does that match with what your
for sure.
expectations
For
are.
sure. I've
Yeah.
also been in classes where, to call it a class or to call it a workshop, I know, so sadly I say, is very loose, because we are performers in and of our own right, and we are dynamic personalities typically. And sometimes when somebody achieves a certain amount of notoriety in acting, of course, people, we want to know your story, right? We want to know how you got here. But you can end up in a 3-hour workshop
Oh,
where what you realize is you're not being taught anything.
no.
You're being regaled with
Okay.
the stories of their experiences, and you're being entertained. And I'm
Okay, well,
like,
I have to say, okay, I have such a pet peeve, and I have to say, so it really bothers me so much with coaches, and I find that it happens sometimes with some people that, yeah, we've had come at the previous times
Mm,
we've done the conference. We had our
yep, yep,
our
yep.
webline conference, and sometimes when I do webinars, or I've worked with other coaches or gone to webinars, my biggest pet peeve. Now, and it's funny because I won't do it at all, but then, like, I have my team, you and Angela and everybody. It's like, Anthony,
Mhm, mhm.
you can't not do it sometimes. But does anybody go to a webinar with a coach and you find like 75% of it is them selling you? Like,
Yes, and
telling,
that's what
like,
I
just
mean,
right,
like,
like, everything
it's
that they can do for you, as opposed, and you're like, that I was like,
I'm
that
gonna tell you something, that's been one of my
ugh,
peeves about conferences, right? Like,
ugh.
I've gone
It's
to
gotten so bad.
conferences.
And I'm sorry, my other pet peeve too is when you pay them. So,
Yeah,
like, if I pay someone to come and teach, like, my peoples,
yeah,
and then they spend the majority of the time telling them about, their services, I'm just like, because,
you're
I'm being polite,
upselling,
but I'm more
right.
like, I'm like, that's not what I brought you here for.
Exactly, that's not training, that's
Ugh.
upselling. I agree with you
Mhm,
100%. I have
mhm.
had live speakers that I've hosted where I've had to steer them
Right.
off of that, and I'm like, "Hey, these people have already paid to learn something here today,
Mhm.
let's teach them." Um,
Ugh.
on the celebrity front, man, I'll name a couple names because I do think it's fun, but these are great people. I want you to know that. I would sit in a room and listen to Nancy Cartwright
Mm,
and to Rob Paulson talk
mm,
all day long. Okay. I would absolutely do that. But with the expectation that what I am being taught,
mhm.
I'm being entertained. I know this. I'm hearing about their story. I'm hearing about their journey. I'm fully aware that the odds of replicating it, slim to none, right? The odds of having those experiences the way they had, slim to none. Eh, but I'll still do it because they're such dynamic storytellers. I'm okay with it. But
Yes, I would say
yeah.
too, another thing to move into about expectations is also understand, like, I do find sometimes some people are not quite sure, like, so for example with Nancy, um I had found Nancy her videos a long
Yeah.
time ago, she's definitely, like you said, very entertaining
Oh
in
God,
her
yes.
live sessions, because I think live for her is way better because that's where she shines. I think
Yeah.
being able to get on a stage
Yeah.
and then be so vibrant and alive
Oh,
while you're doing a
God,
voiceover,
yeah.
which I think is funny. But here's the thing. So here's an interesting story. And there's nothing. This is totally fine. I wanted Nancy to come and do some stuff, right? And Nancy professionally let me know that that's not, and that's where I'm going with this. That's not what her business model is about. Her business model is about students for her.
Yeah.
And not going to promote students somewhere else. Like in her mind, promotion.
Yeah.
Which I was fine because I think Nancy's amazing. And so, but the point I'm bringing up now is about understanding that yes, it is. So some people, it is their livelihoods. So it does become, because I see a lot of voice actors, and some is true, but I see a lot of voice actors who really are angry, and maybe they've had some bad experiences about people coaching in general.
Yeah.
Have you seen that? Like they're just mad. Now, again, if you've had a bad experience, because everything I do, I go off of what we offer at VO.
Oh, sure.
So I'm like, I hate it. I stay up at night if someone has a bad experience. It bothers me a lot.
Well, of course it does. I'm the same way. I will stress out because that speaks to that professionalism of being an educator and going, where did I fail this person, right? Where did I fail to meet their expectations or to give them the information that they needed? But a lot of these folks, it is more, entertainment value, and it's fun. It's totally fun. Like I said, I mean, I would sit and hear Rob tell stories all day, every day if I could, but I'm not sitting there with some grand expectation that the key to my voiceover success is going to be unlocked from that process, because it's just not. And there's a lot of instances of that where sometimes people will even say to me as a coach, they're like, I want to know your story. I want to hear about you. And I'm like, why? That doesn't benefit you. You know what I mean? Like, thanks. Like you're kind of, feeding a couple quarters into my ego. Like that's cool. But I know that knowledge doesn't inherently do anything for my students. That's not the stuff that helps them. The day-to-day in the trenches, that's what does, but telling you the big overarching, how I got it, whatever. Yeah. I mean,
no, I agree. I mean, I think that I'm famous for this, telling my story. I like to tell my story because I do feel like it helps me teach about a specific thing because I remember early on, and you can, like, I don't know if you remember too, but when I started my podcast originally, the whole idea was I wanted to start a podcast that no one else or that was by someone who had not made it.
Yes.
Because you know what I mean? Because a lot of people who had made it were wonderful, but they always seem to talk from a standpoint of, this is what, I've already made it, and you can do it too. You know what I mean? Instead of like, we're going through this
it's the difference between sharing failures and sharing struggles and sharing success stories. Sharing success stories don't necessarily help. It's the struggles that make us stronger, that make us better.
I failed a bunch.
Same. Oh my God. Oh my God. So much. So many times. Like, and it's okay. It's okay. Like, we're still here. Like, hello. That's some of the resiliency as well. But I think having a really good idea of what exactly you want to achieve with a particular coach is so important going into any education setting. Yeah,
and it might not be a bad idea now I think about it, because it might not be a bad idea to do it is good to do what you said earlier. At least you might have an expectation and you're not sure if that coach, because for example, I've realized too, the more I do this and the more we go, at VO Journey Academy, we offer a lot of paths. And we do we give a lot of help on those paths. But sometimes I could understand, and we talked about this, I think, the other day, and we talked about this in the group as well. Sometimes people also need to be like, okay, am I ready? Like, just let me know when I'm you feel like I'm ready to start, and I'll hit the ground running.
Yeah.
So those are expectations that you can clearly have, and let your coach know or your people know, hey, I need that, or I'm ready for it.
Yeah. Oh, I love this. Chris said, I was sold on Anthony's little slogan of sidestep all the things I step on. Yes. Yes, for sure. Because if your coach isn't helping you avoid landmines, then what are they there for?
Do you know the funny thing is too, is like I look back on all that stuff and literally I literally did not, that was not something like I sat down and wrote.
No, it just
I mean,
happened.
it literally was,
Sure.
I'm like, no, just I'm screwing up so much. If you listen
don't
to this,
step
we'll
there.
talk about all that.
Yeah, just don't step there, whatever you do.
Right.
And by the way, award of the day for coolest name goes to Chastity Battles.
Where's her
oh
name
my
again?
God, she just said good afternoon. She's
Chastity Battles.
Chastity
that is
Battles. That's
awesome.
you have the coolest name I've ever heard. Okay.
Is that your real name? Is that a pseudonym or is that your
That's
real name? That's amazing.
I'm like, oh my God. Love it. Love it.
That's
anyway,
so cool. That's just like a name that like goes off of your tongue, right?
It's
Like
powerful. Oh my God.
Chastity Battles.
Yep.
That's a real name.
That's her real name.
So cool.
Holy crap. That's so cool.
Awesome.
Okay. Love it.
It's random.
Anyway.
I love it.
Okay. So unfortunately, I will not be here tomorrow for Open Forum Friday, but of course Anthony will.
Yes, I will.
Yeah. And what do we have going on? Do we have another workshop coming up? What's next?
So we had a workshop for this month. So we will be having one next month. So
okay. So we still have to announce it. So we'll be talking about that soon.
We'll be announcing that. But we did have our character class last night, went really well with Bonnie. That was really
nice.
Awesome. A lot of people excited about that. Our webinar is coming up next month.
Cool.
Wow, January has been the storm is something is coming up is that we are so close. Like I'm pushing the envelope. I think we're almost to 490 audiobooks. I'm so close to 500.
So 500 is in view.
500 is in view. I'm hoping to get there in the next couple of days. So,
love that.
We have the audiobooks. I just have to get them published.
Oh, that's so cool. All right. And Angela has Launchpad tonight.
Yes, tonight is Launchpad with Angela.
So I'll be recouping for a couple of days.
Laid up into bed.
Yeah, but I'll join you guys as soon as I can next week, probably from bed, which might be kind of funny, but it'll be cool.
That'll be fun. The dogs will be all up in there.
The dogs will be in it. The cats might make an appearance. Also, I'll probably be on pain meds. So if you want to ask me all the embarrassing questions, that's probably a great time to do it.
I love it. All right, everybody. Well, you have a wonderful, wonderful day. Thank you for joining us. And I will see you tomorrow.
Bye, guys.
Bye, everybody. Goodbye. Goodbye.